Over the past few months, we here at the Keep Times have interviewed 8 candidates all running for positions in the Edmonton City Council in the upcoming municipal election this October. This has included incumbent Andrew Knack and mayoral candidate Augustine Marat. On the same day that I reached out to Tasta-Winniwak candidate Sid Amar, I was notified by multiple sources of Mr. Amar's checkered and particularly outspoken past on social media. However, since announcing his candidacy, all controversial posts and tweets have been removed from his visible accounts, his Twitter has been turned to private, and a long monologue in support of former President Donald Trump has been removed from his Facebook page. Mr. Amar then reached out to me, and we spoke on the phone the next day about a number of pressing issues. Here's how that call went. You've declared your support for Donald Trump a couple times in the last year or so.
Donald Trump is simply the greatest U.S. president since JFK, or Abe Lincoln, or even the founding fathers of the USA. Depending on what he will achieve in his second term, he may very well rank right up there with Andrew Jackson or Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, of course. I'm not, I'm going to be honest with you in this phone call. Of course, I support Donald Trump, but I just decided that shouldn't matter in this election because it's a city council election, and my support for Donald Trump or Joe Biden shouldn't matter because you have other candidates running that's here that supported Joe Biden, yet nobody says anything, right? So that's just a personal preference. I don't see anything, controversial in that.
The controversial aspect of that was that you had declared his opponent to be particularly evil.
In the end, it's not about left or right. It's not about black or white. It's simply about good and evil.
Do you still hold that President Joe Biden is evil?
It's not necessarily that he's evil. I just don't think he's fit for the job. It's not, and I don't remember calling him evil, by the way. I don't remember. So many things happen. I don't think I called Joe Biden evil.
Biden is part of the system of control that seeks to dominate your lives, and the effort to put him back in the White House is for the purpose of covering up Obama-era crimes and maintaining the enslavement of the people. You will have to choose your side in the war between the forces of good and the forces of evil.
Okay, so you've also shown public support for the website Return to Kings. There had been an article about a pro-rape meetup canceled.
Yeah, I don't post from Return of Kings at all.
No, but you had advocated for them in a paragraph-long comment.
Oh, I think you're talking about, I think I saw a post, but I never made that post. I was commenting on someone. And I don't know about that group because I don't support a lot of the stuff that they talk about. You know what I mean?
Well, you had explicitly said that you know the website and that you've read the articles.
I'm aware of the website. I've read some of the articles. I mean, some of the articles are good. Some of the articles are really stupid. Like, I'm not a fan of, I'm not supportive of these articles, how to pick up women and how to do that stuff. That's just a bunch of nonsense, right? And that's ridiculous. So no, I'm not supportive of any of that aspect.
Okay. So you've also shown public support for the idea of straight pride online. Do you have a message for the queer community in Edmonton?
Absolutely. I believe in equality for everyone. It doesn't matter what you are. I don't care if you're queer, gay. It doesn't matter. Everyone has a right. We live under the Constitution in Canada, and everyone has the right to practice what they want, be what they want. It doesn't matter to me. I have no hatred in my heart. I want people to express themselves and to feel free, and that's all.
But do you think that that's the message that posting straight pride sends out?
It depends. It depends how some people take it and how some people don't. But I mean, I think this is not recent. That must have been like 7-8 years ago. Like, I just find it weird that people are digging that far, because if I go and dig in other people's...
This is what journalism is. If you're running for public office, we're going to dig into things that you have publicly said.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
I don't think that was public, though. Some of these posts are private, and when I've talked to...
Well, no, these are all public posts.
Okay, I'm not aware. See, I don't even remember, right? I'm totally not aware.
Well, that doesn't really change the fact that you said these things, though. Like... Can you give me a situation where you think that posting straight pride would be taken in a way that doesn't demean the queer community?
I don't think there's anything wrong with people expressing themselves. I mean, that's what I'm telling you, right? And that may have been one post ever, like one post ever, and I don't think I should be judged on that.
Well, but like I've listed a few already, and like also you've addressed the matter of the Holocaust in World War II. You've referred to it as a pure concoction of fantasy, and you've said that Anne Frank was a liar because she couldn't have possibly written in.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, because that's like the big thing. So that post was like 6 or 7 years ago. And honestly, that it was completely taken out of context. So when I made that comment, in no way, shape, or form was I denying what happened to the Jewish people or denying the Holocaust. And I'll explain it to you. I already discussed with the major news organization yesterday, a Jewish news organization. I already had this discussion with them, and we've pretty much resolved it. And I explained that it wasn't my intention to cause any pain or hurt or to anyone from the Jewish community. Actually, what happened there, I'll explain to you, like, my heart and soul moves for the Jewish people. It moves for my people. It moves for all people. But there was newspaper articles that were released in the media at that point.
Well, I've read the article that's connected. I saw what you had commented on, but that doesn't explain why you would have brought up the fact that ballpoint pens were invented after Anne Frank.
That was my mistake. I made a mistake because I had seen some internet memes. Because on Facebook has a lot of misinformation, right? So I had seen some information on Facebook about that, but then shortly after, like I found out that it was invented in the late 1800s, and people were, creating information or lies on.
But
Facebook,
this is where the issue comes up. Like, if you're going out of your way to take clearly false information about a Holocaust victim and posting misinformation about it online.
I never denied Anne Frank's story. I never denied Anne Frank's story.
Well, no, but you're posting about how she must have been a liar because of the ballpoint pen not having been popularized at that point, and then whether or not you took it back afterwards, can we trust you as a?
I never said there was no Holocaust. I never said that Anne Frank's story.
You referred to facts of the Holocaust as a, quote, pure concoction of fantasy, and you said that Anne Frank was a liar.
Not facts of the Holocaust. I said in my statement in there, I went back and I read it. I said actual Holocaust survivors. I mentioned they were actual Holocaust survivors. So
are liars.
You got to be fair with me.
But you're missing my point. My problem is that can we trust a city council candidate who does not research their facts and posts stuff and then just hopes to react on it years later and take posts down and remove videos? Like, I noticed you removed your Trump support video.
I don't want to involve it in the election, and I'm just explaining this to you. I was actually upset because these stories were coming out of Holocaust survivors that were getting in trouble, and it was published in the news, and they actually hurt the Jewish community. My heart moves for the Jewish community. I was upset because when these stories were coming out, it hurts the memory of the people who suffered and died and perished in the Holocaust.
But you responded by bringing up a fact about ballpoint pens.
That was my mistake.
Obviously, it was your mistake, but this is my problem: are these?
And I totally regret it.
But why should Edmontonians believe that these mistakes won't persist?
Because that was like 6 or 7 years ago, right? I mean, people change, people grow, people mature. You gotta be forgiving people.
But
right?
this is 4 different incidents now. In one regarding Jewish history, one regarding explicit misogyny on a website that you defended and advocated for online.
I never defended the website.
You did, actually.
Articles. Yeah, I
and
read a few
one
articles.
time where you've explicitly posted for straight pride, which honestly I'll say has only ever been taken really one way.
Okay.
And so, like, this is a bunch of different situations that.
Okay, but I think you're taking it a little bit too far. People grow, people change, people mature. And I think the biggest thing here is to set, it's clear on the Holocaust what I meant by that. So, but you should know that I've been a victim of online hate, attack, slander, defamation.
Well, most public figures have.
Yeah, I know, but I've looked into it, and I think I've discovered the identities of some people. So
You can see that all these different things are piling up.
it depends. Like Edmonton's population is split down the middle. You know, half will like it, half will not
About
like
the
it.
Holocaust? No, they're not.
No, the Holocaust is different. I'm telling you,
And
I express.
about LGBT rights? I don't think they are. I
I
don't think they're
never
split on
spoke
that.
anything about LGBT
Well,
rights.
you've posted about straight pride, and that has historically been taken one way.
Okay, but I don't mean for it to be taken that way, man.
Well, what way did you mean it to be
And I
taken?
never said anything against LGBT people, and
Well, again, that's kind of what the straight pride thing was concocted
okay,
for.
but I didn't know it would be taken like that, right?
How did you think it would be taken?
I don't remember, the mindset. That was 6 to 7 years ago. Like, I'm not looking to have an argument with you. I'm looking to have a discussion.
But this is my problem. Is so you over the last 6 or 7 years you've promoted misogyny, whether you realize it or not. You've promoted the idea that the Holocaust didn't happen, whether you realize it or not.
No, I did not promote the idea.
Well, you accidentally did, and you promoted the idea of straight pride, which is almost explicitly an anti-LGBT movement. And again, you may not have realized you were doing that.
From my perspective, I don't take it like that. Because
But okay, so again, this is what I'm saying.
Because I respect every single human being in the LGBT.
But again, this is what I'm saying. So you may not have realized. So this is at least 3 different situations where you're claiming that you just didn't know what you were doing. So how can Edmontonians trust you to do proper research if time after time after time you prove that you don't?
I do proper research, and people make decisions, and I'm telling you, people make mistakes, and you guys got to learn how to be like forgiving people. Like, you think all the city councilors on there are perfect?
I don't think any of I don't think any of them has denied or called Anne Frank a liar. I don't think any of them has supported an explicitly misogyny-based website.
People learn, right?
But we shouldn't have to trust our counselors to make these mistakes time after time and just learn afterwards, right?
Yeah, but I mean, and no one's perfect, man, and people got to learn how to be forgiving people. And I have no issue with the LGBT community. I don't have any issue with anyone, and I do not deny the Holocaust, and I did not deny the Holocaust.
But you may say that no one's perfect, but again, I'll remind you, like, no other city council candidate has made any of these claims.
Okay, I understand, man. I said that was my mistake. And the other thing is that on the Holocaust thing, I want to mention this, in that those stories that were coming out in the media, that were published in newspapers, about what some survivors, had ended up doing, had actually hurt the memory of the Jewish people who suffered. That's my whole thing with that. And I put my comments, they were not worded properly. And that's it. Like, I did not mean in any way, shape, or form to dishonor anyone.
All right. Well, I think that's all I have for you today, So thank you, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Shortly after my call with Mr. Amar, I was further notified of 2 now-deleted Twitter posts indicating that he holds conspiratorial beliefs regarding COVID vaccinations. At the time of publishing, Mr. Amar has yet to comment to any press regarding these posts, but I'll leave it to you, the audience, to decide whether this is yet another case of this candidate proclaiming harmful ideas online without forethought. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to contribute to the Keep Times, you can donate to our Patreon at patreon.com/thekeeptimes. You can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and WordPress. Have a good night.
I'm encouraging you all to think for yourself. Do your own research, analyze all sources, and make your own decision.